So let's get the.
See what it says here. Hey guys, CryptoDad here again, and thanks for joining me for my live stream on Friday nights, my live Q&A in LA, and welcome everyone. I'm gonna take questions for you. Okay guys, so welcome to the live stream. Looks like Crypto Daughter has already joined in. So Alex is here to say hello to everyone.
Hello.
Hi, PR. Hello, Felix Rodriguez. Nice to have you here. So I think I just finished up a video which I thought might be of interest to some of you if you're Ethereum holders. So let me prepare myself here again. I brought my Ledger Nano S. Look at his shirt. It's kind of cool. So I'm just going to plug this little guy in here.
Look him not in.
You okay?
Look in the camera.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to plug in this. Enter our PIN. Oops. God, Alex.
You want Triscuits? You want a Triscuit?
I don't think you can show brands on YouTube. Honey, can you please get him away?
Alex. No. You want to eat Triscuits?
Okay.
Hey. Alex, come with me. Come with me.
Having some technical difficulties. Okay. So I have my Ledger Nano hooked up here, and let's go over here. Let's get off this. Just start a fresh one here. I need to enter my Ethereum app. And I believe I need to go to settings and turn browser support to no. Okay, there we go. All right, so there was an article about Tron recently. I don't know how many of you know about Tron. Come on. Okay, there we go. Okay, so the Tron mainnet is counting down now to their new mainnet launch. If you're not familiar with Tron, here we go. Tron is currently at number 9 in the market caps on crypto, and they're counting down to their mainnet launch. They're going to be transferring from an ERC20 token to a full-fledged Tron blockchain token. And let's see here, Tron airdrop. So if you have an Ethereum wallet, if any of my users, my viewers out there own any Ethereum, and it's more than one, and you have it in your own private wallet, be it a Ledger Nano S, or a MyEther wallet, or a Trezor, or the Mist wallet, any of those private type wallets, you are eligible for a free airdrop, and you don't have to do anything. If I can find this. This is the article that I'm looking for. Okay. So Tron distributed 30 million tokens for free without anyone having to do anything except own Ethereum in a wallet. And if you received ETH after January 1st and had at least 1 ETH in your account, oh, I'm sorry, if you sent or received ETH after January 1st and had at least 1 ETH in your account when the Ethereum blockchain snapshot was taken on April 20th, then you may have received between 10 and 100 Tron, which is pretty cool. Hey, Barnum3, how are you? No, it is not too late to buy Tron before the mainnet launch. You have plenty of time. The mainnet test launch will be starting in June, I think May 31st, but you've got until, I believe, the 21st of June or the 24th to get your Tron purchased and in your cryptocurrency exchange. The mainnet transition will only work if your Tron is on an exchange. That's I have some videos on that. But the interesting thing about this airdrop is if we go to my Ether wallet, and we will need to adjust our app so that browser support is on. All right. If we check our wallet from here, we use Ledger Wallet. You can see the same Ethereum wallet as this. Well, it's gone now. You can see the same Ethereum address and the same balance, but you can also see your ERC20 tokens down here. And looky, I have 45 Tron that I did not have before. So I ended up with 45 Tron for free, just because I had an Ethereum wallet that had a balance of at least 1, and that I had moved a little Ethereum around since January 1st. So that's pretty cool. You know, it's only worth like $3.15 at the moment, but Tron is kind of an up-and-coming cryptocurrency. We'll see how it goes. Give me a second here. I am going to pop out the chat so that I can, I don't know if I can do this or not. Will it let me? Ah, okay. Yeah, so I'm trying a new thing here, which is moving the chat window off to the side. Because I looked at my last live video and I could see the chat window on the side of the feed and the chat window in my video. So it was kind of doing double, because I know all of you can see the chat window on the side of the video as well, so you don't need to see it in my window. So I'm just going to put it over here. So anybody have any questions, concerns, any how-tos? Barnum, I know we were talking earlier. Yeah, I think the India, both India, I think China pretty much clamped down on cryptocurrency exchanges last year. And that kind of took a, that was actually before Bitcoin's all-time high. So it didn't make a huge dent at the time, but I think it's sort of long-term, it's kind of taken effect, because I remember there was a lot of there would be a lot of activity at night. Like if you wanted to check the price of Bitcoin, it was like, if you checked it in the middle of the night, it was like shooting up because of all the action that was going on in Asia. And it was in China and South Korea. South Korea was really big on Ethereum, or I'm sorry, as cryptocurrency and Bitcoin. And then India has been doing all kind of things to try to regulate or outlaw or ban or what have you. Actually, let me go. Where am I here? Ah, okay. Ah, sorry about that. India was working on banning cryptocurrencies. And, you know, there's always some new news story coming out about some new thing that India has tried to do or China has tried to do to regulate cryptocurrencies. You know, it's funny, too. If I can find this, Bloomberg Bitcoin. Let me see if I can find this. Ah, here we go. So there was a big story in the news here about U.S. launches criminal probe into Bitcoin price manipulation. And this announcement really affected the price of Bitcoin. But if you read the article carefully, it says Justice Department opens investigation and that they're working with the Commodities Futures Trading Commission. So it sounds very official and very scary. But if you look at the first paragraph of this article, they say the Justice Department, blah, 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 blah. According to 4 people familiar with the matter. Oh, let me go over here. According to 4 people familiar with the matter. Said the people who asked not to be identified because the review is private. So it wasn't the Justice Department that announced this. It wasn't the Commodities Future Trading Commission that announced this. It was 4 people. The people. 4 anonymous people who wouldn't even give their names. And then they gave this to Bloomberg. And then all of the other articles that you saw about this were just referring back to that Bloomberg article. So I feel like it was just kind of it wasn't really an official announcement of any kind. It was just some sort of, you know, anonymous person whispering in the ear of somebody. You know, big finance does not like Bitcoin. I'll tell you that. Big banks, big brokers, they're starting to get on board, but they've never been very friendly towards Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Yes, I like that. Governments can't stop it. They will force it underground even more. The beauty of Bitcoin was that, you know, you don't need banks, and I can send a person Bitcoin across the room or across the world with the same ease and comfort. And back a couple years ago, the transaction fees were negligible, and the speed was very good. Towards the end of last year, the network got a little bogged down, so it has growing pains. I haven't done my taxes this year, but I didn't really sell much Bitcoin at all last year. I did cash out a little bit in January, but I won't have to worry about that till next year. I'm hoping that the guy that does my taxes will know a little bit about cryptocurrencies by then. I doubt he has done anyone's taxes that had cryptocurrency. The Chinese don't like the smell of freedom. Yeah, that's cool. Hey, Sebastian. Amjad. I'm going to go over here because I know that Barnum and I were chatting earlier. Barnuman. Let's see here. Ah, here we go. Oh, Barnum watched my Monero video. I haven't had a chance to transfer any of my Monero into this online wallet yet. But I do have that in my list of video ideas. So I think a long time ago I may have created this. I don't know how secure this is, to be honest with you. Yeah, I would have to play around with it and take a look at it. There are some people who try to avoid web wallets as much as possible. People don't trust them, but like my Ethereum wallet is a good web-based wallet, which can allow you access to your other types of wallets. It's pretty good, but it only works for Ethereum. And blockchain.info is I think blockchain.info is a very good web-based Bitcoin wallet. I used it quite a bit a couple years ago. Easy to create a wallet. They have a lot of security features. It's easy to just create a wallet, but then they also have these steps you can go through to make it more secure by email verification, two-factor authentication. It generates a seed for you. So as far as web wallets goes, I like blockchain.info. But like I said, I have not tried this My Monero, a web-based Monero wallet yet. Yeah, I just put maybe, $20 worth of Monero in there just to see the mechanics of how it works before I go crazy. And that's a word of advice I'll give to any of you. If you're playing around with cryptocurrency and you want to move some cryptocurrency, whether it's Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, or whatever, from one place to another. Let's say you want to move it from Coinbase to Binance so you can buy something else, or you want to move it from Coinbase to your own wallet, anything like that. Always start with a small transaction so that you know you've got the mechanics down, because there's nothing more nerve-wracking than trying to transfer your entire balance in one fell swoop on the first try and then have something go wrong. Like you put in the wrong address, or you didn't put enough gas in the transaction, or whatever, depending on the cryptocurrency that you're dealing with. Always try a small transaction. You might end up paying a little extra fees, for that one little transaction, but the peace of mind is worth it to know that, okay, I transferred $10 worth of Bitcoin from Coinbase to my wallet, so I know the address is good, I know everything's working. Now I'll transfer the rest of it. The Verge paper wallet from I believe if you want to get your Verge back into a cryptocurrency exchange, and you've got it in a paper wallet, you're going to need to import the private key into a Verge wallet. So let me see here. I haven't run my Verge wallet in quite a while. It may not even be working right now because it got hacked not too long ago. A couple days ago. They got exploited again. Not the wallet, but the mining software. Well, let's see. Verge. I think this is it. Yeah, I think that's it. QT. I'm going to have to give it a few minutes to start up, but I believe that there's a function in the wallet to import a private key. I know there is in the Electrum wallet. So Verge has several wallets. But if you go over to Verge Currency, this QT wallet is the one I just launched. I don't know if they've got it, but you can go here to Wallets and download their Electrum Tor wallet. They used to have a Windows Electrum wallet. I guess they don't anymore. So their Electrum wallet has the import private key function, but you might have to use the console window to do it. But that's the general idea there is you've got that paper wallet that has that long private key. You will have to import that private key into a Verge wallet. And then once you do that, the entire balance of that paper wallet will suddenly be in your wallet, your desktop wallet. And once you've done that successfully, you'll be able to transfer it over to Binance from your desktop wallet. That would be the route to go. Maybe in a little bit, this thing will... It's actually... That's one of the things I don't like about Verge is it takes forever for the wallet to load. Especially if you haven't run it in a few months. But that would be my, overview there. Yeah, thanks, Sebastian. I use ESET. I've been using ESET for many years. I like it much better than Norton. Norton is always popping up and bugging you and telling you, buy this, buy that. You need to get your total protection, and why don't you buy our password manager? And they're always bombarding me with ads and alerts. So ESET works really good. It's reasonably priced, and it stops. When I try to go to bad links, it'll alert me and it'll block it. So I feel like it does a really good job of protecting me. And if you don't have malware protection, you can do one or the other, or you can do both. I have Malwarebytes anti-malware too. So I run them both. They're compatible with each other, but Malwarebytes says that they can do everything now. That if you need, they can protect you from viruses and everything else. I've been using ESET so long that I keep using it. So yeah. And then the other one is be smart. Don't click on links. Don't give people your Ethereum address or your password or anything like that. Oh yeah, Edgar, thank you. The reason I did that video is I get spammed so much with people hawking Telegram. Let's see, there might have been some that slipped through today. I caught a couple that were in my published comments. I don't see any right now. Yeah, I don't see any right now. I usually try to catch them as soon as they get posted. But I was just getting bombarded. I posted that video on how to do a hard drive, or how to delete data on a hard drive, and they must be bots, because I had 3 or 4 comments that said, oh, buy Telegram, and they had a link that always led you to a website. Here's one. Aha, there we go. See? Can you see that? Yeah. It's usually a Russian name with some Russian letters, and they're talking about Telegram, and they give you a link which takes you to a bad I don't know. It's not even, this one's not even loading. Well, that one, they probably got flaked out or whatever. But usually the fresh ones will take me to a page where I get a virus alert. So yeah, those just don't buy Telegram. There are no Telegram tokens. There may be down the road. Yes, you do have to watch out. Sometimes, depending on what you're trying to do, you have to work around your antivirus and your malware. I was doing a video on the Monero wallet, and my malware blocked it, the Monero wallet. So I had to add Monero D to my list of exclusions. So you have to be kind of savvy, but I'd rather have the irritation than have my computer wide open to all kinds of stuff. I'd rather be the one going to the trouble than having my computer just wipe. Thanks, I like your little Litecoin. Are you big into Litecoin? I like crypto too. Uh, I did some videos on the Litecoin uh, hard fork, the Litecoin Cash hard fork, and I got a lot of feedback and a lot of trolls when I did that video. Uh, they kept saying that Litecoin Cash was a scam. Well, it's not. It wasn't really a scam, but it's kind of a, it's not worth very much. So it was a lot of hubbub about nothing. I think if you go to Litecoin, whoops, they have it on CoinGecko, but as you can see, it's only worth 8 cents, which is nowhere close to what Litecoin is worth. But it's not a scam. Everybody was like, oh, it's a scam and you're a scammer. I'm like, no, I'm not a scammer. I'm just telling you how to do it. Yeah, the Monero wallet is definitely clunky. There's not much else, enough other ways to hold your Monero. Now, it's a little tricky, but you can, if you have like secondary drives in your computer, which not everybody does. Most people just have one hard drive in their computer. But I have several. I have my C drive, and then I have a data drive, and then I have some other secondary drives. You could let the blockchain of the Monero wallet load on a secondary drive so that it's not on your C drive, because by default it goes into your C drive, I think. I don't know where it is. It's maybe gone now. I don't know what happened to it. It was here. I may have deleted it while I was doing something. But anyway, you could tell. You can do that with lots of cryptocurrency wallets. You can tell them when you're installing them, they'll ask you where would you like to store your blockchain data, and you can tell it to store it on a secondary drive so it doesn't bog down your hard drive, especially if you're running short on space on your hard drive. So there's lots of ways to manage your hard drives and stuff. I mostly stick to cryptocurrency, but I've been doing tech and computers for quite a while. So I do know a lot about how to manage data and hard drives and all that. That comes into play. See, could I store a full node on a portable drive? I use Linux. You can, connect the portable drive, and as you're installing the wallet, just tell it that you want to store the blockchain data on that external location, and then just make sure whenever you launch the wallet, you have that drive plugged in. And that should work. I mean, it's possible. It just depends on the wallet you're installing and whether or not you can move around that blockchain data. Most wallets will let you do it. Not every wallet has the feature in the menu. Sometimes you have to go to the console to do that. So it's a little bit of a pain. ZRX, never heard of it. Is this a ZRX? Ah. Okay. So what's ZRX about? I think someone has brought this up to me before. There's a lot of them out there. And if you know about it, then, and you've done your research, then, and don't spend your rent money on it, But if you've got money to spare, that's pretty respectable price. You know, at least it's not less than a penny. Although sometimes you'll buy a crypto less than a penny and make out when it rises. You never know. But I think I mentioned last week that if I were to, let's see, ZRX. What's its market cap? 60 US dollar. 675. I try to stick to the top 10, top 20. You know, sound investments. And I'm just kind of a hodler. I'll just buy it and hold it. I don't like to sell it. Especially when you're worried, you know, if you don't want to worry about the tax man so much. You know, my strategy is I'm figuring, okay, if I buy, let's say I buy Stellar, right? And I buy a bunch of Stellar and I just hold on to it for a year or two and it goes way up and I've got like, let's say I have 50,000. So I would go to the accountant, my tax accountant, and say, hey, I have like 50,000 Stellar and I want to withdraw it and I'm going to incur, you know, there's going to be, it's going to be a taxable transaction, and just like immediately withdraw the 50 and then give whatever I owe to the tax man to my tax accountant right away. Rather than I'm going to take 50 out and I'm going to spend it all, and then when the tax time comes, oh my gosh, now I'm 25,000 short, you know. That's my strategy. Is I'm going to wait till I've got a good enough profit to where I can pull out my 50,000 and have enough to pay my tax right away and then not worry about it anymore. I don't know. There's a lot of people that are buying and selling every day. I don't know if they're incurring tax. I don't know. I'm not an expert on that. Ah, okay. OX is a platform for decentralized exchanges. Paradex is an exchange that uses OX, and Coinbase just bought them. Oh, so Coinbase bought Paradex. Okay. There's a lot of decentralized exchanges. I've used a couple of them. They're, you know, the idea is that like Coinbase is centralized. They are a company and they have their own servers. And when you buy and sell coins on their exchange, they own the cryptocurrency, and you know they're trading you their cryptocurrency for the one you're selling. But the decentralized exchanges, you know, you connect to them, your wallet is connected, and then you make a deposit to that decentralized exchange, and then you're kind of looking for other people that are willing to buy what you're selling, and it's more of a peer-to-peer kind of thing, like eBay. And that's you know, that's up and coming. You know, you know, we're trying. Bitcoin is decentralized. Blockchain cryptocurrencies are decentralized, and in that same spirit, a decentralized exchange is a good way to you know, engage other people with cryptocurrencies if you're looking to buy and sell. Also, I think local Bitcoins is also a good way to, if you have Bitcoin and you want to trade it, there are people out there that are willing to trade you Bitcoin. And some of these, I've never actually done this, but you actually have to go meet somebody or make a transaction. I'm a little, I've never done this before, but I think once you've done it once or twice, maybe with a small amount, and you feel more comfortable at how it works, that'd be a good way to, you know, trade Bitcoin for stuff or stuff for Bitcoin. There's also Paxful too, if you're not. You can go to Paxful and get Bitcoin. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's actually my account. I have an account there. But you can buy Bitcoin with Amazon gift cards, Western Union, debit cards, Western Union, or gift cards. And this is decentralized too. This is just peer-to-peer kind of a thing. And like I said, I would maybe do a few small transactions, and until you feel comfortable, before you jump in and buy huge amounts. Monero has its own 64-bit OS. I didn't know they had their own OS. And you could just load it on a computer? Huh. Never heard of that. Yeah, I love to install operating systems. I've probably installed Windows like hundreds of times, if not thousands. My first Windows install was Windows 3.1. I made copies of the floppy disk set from my uncle and took it home and installed it on my computer. And I've installed Windows so many times. And I've installed Linux many times, and Cubase and Unix, and a lot of that's kind of my hobby. I have some videos. Some of my earlier videos were installing Debian and whatnot. Yes, that is very true, Maximus. You do pay a premium when you trade on Paxful. So, but it is one way to acquire Bitcoin anonymously if you do it right. If you connect through Tor and a proxy and everything else, and use a gift card you paid cash for, it is possible to get some Bitcoin that can't be traced to you if that's the kind of thing you're after. You're probably better off just buying some Monero on a cryptocurrency exchange and using Monero or one of the other privacy coins. Oh. Yes, that is true. Paxful does give you quite a bit of overhead. Oh, you were just sorry, Barnum. You were just answering the question of the requirements. Oh, okay. Ah, I see. Yeah, 64-bit OS, 4 gigs of RAM, 45 gigabytes of hard drive space, and the blockchain. Yes. Okay, Edgar V uses Bisq, Lobster Bisq. Huh. Is that an exchange? Ah, okay. So there's one. Let's put that in something good, huh? There's a link I'm going to save. I'll have to check this guy out. I always get a lot of new ideas and things on these live streams. Sometimes people will tell me to go do a video on a coin or an exchange, and that gives me an inspiration for a new video. So I always appreciate it when people share their ideas here on the live stream. Where can you sell anonymously? Oh, good. It's a good OS for Bitcoin. You could, if you want to sell anonymously, you could conceivably open a like on some of the smaller cryptocurrency exchanges. Like for example, I don't know, it's getting harder to do, but let's say I had an email. I managed. First of all, you have to find yourself an anonymous email, an email that's not tied to you, and maybe a web-based email. There were some that you could get to on the dark web. I can't remember the name of it. Signet, Sigane. You could, if you could get yourself a Sigane email on the Tor network, and it wasn't tied to you at all, you could use that Sigane email maybe to open up a cryptocurrency account without giving them any of your personal information. And when you access that account, you would do so through Tor, so and a VPN, so they wouldn't see your IP. And once you got that exchange established, you could transfer some Monero in there from your Monero wallet. And then at that point, you could sell it for Bitcoin or whatever, and then just withdraw it somewhere else. But you're always, I mean, if you're really looking to cash out, then you're always going to have that point of exit where it's cash. In my case, it's usually Coinbase. Let's say I managed to anonymously sell some Monero for Bitcoin. I got to get it into cash, so I take it back to Coinbase and cash out. But if you just spend the cryptocurrency, if you can find a vendor or another person that will accept Monero or accept Bitcoin as payment for something that you want, like a computer or a laptop or some curtains or whatever, then you might be able to pull that off anonymously. But then again, if you got to put your hands on it, they're going to have to ship it to you. So you're going to have to figure out a way to get it shipped to you anonymously. And that's a whole nother ball of wax. Ledger Nano and Windows 7 don't get along very well. Buy low, sell high. Hi, buy low, sell high. Yes. Let's see. Okay, yeah, there's the... I'll show you what they mean here. So check out that link, buy low, sell high. But basically what they're talking about is going into the device manager. It looks the same in Windows 7 as it looks here. And you got to go down to like your universal serial bus controllers. And if you're in Windows 7 and you've tried to update your ledger, I believe there's going to be one of these that's got like a yellow exclamation point on it, or like a yield sign, and you'll just do update driver to get the USB device to work. I believe that's a quick fix. It may or may not work for you. You could take that Ledger Nano over to someone else's computer, like someone you know, like your brother or your mom or dad, or and update it on their computer if they're running a later version, like if they're running Windows 10. And then once it's updated, you could take it back and use it on your Windows 7 machine, if that's what all it is a one-time deal, to get it updated. It should still be, even when you update it, it should still be recognized on your Windows 7 machine. Or, God forbid, you could just upgrade to Windows 10 from Windows 7. But I know updating your OS is not fun, unless you're someone like me that enjoys that. But most people, it's a hassle. So yeah, try this fix here, buy low, sell high. That might fix what your issue is. Yes, Sebastian, you could sell for cash on the street, so to speak, using local Bitcoin, right? As we were talking about local Bitcoins earlier. It's kind of like the Craigslist of Bitcoin. And I've never done it before, but you know, in stuff like this, you want to find someone that has a decent reputation. Maybe do a small transaction with that person, so just so you get a feel for that. You know, you can trust them. Maybe try a couple of different types of people, and yeah, you could cash out your Bitcoin that way, fairly anonymously. I mean, you could. Somebody might be following you or following him. You know, who knows? Uh, yes, yes. If you've got 200K worth of Bitcoin, trying to sell it on the street would be a little bit impractical. Uh, yeah. Now, you know, like Coinbase, you can link your bank account to your Coinbase account, and you can sell your Bitcoin for cash, US dollars, and then you can transfer it to your bank account. And I'm sure you can do that on Bittrex too, because Bittrex is a US based company. So that's how you could cash out, but once again, not anonymously, really. Trying to do all that anonymously is a little bit tricky. You know, my thing was just wait till you have a nice profit and money that you didn't have before. You put in $300 in 2018, and in 2020 it was worth 50 grand. You would just immediately pay the taxes on it, and then you would have your 25 grand free and clear. And don't think of it as like, oh, I lost half of my 50,000. Just think of it as, hey, I made 25,000 on 300, and Uncle Sam is happy. And then you wouldn't have anything to worry about. But yes, there are ways to do things anonymously. Another thing well, like I said, you could take the Bitcoin in your wallet and put it in a blockchain web wallet that's not connected to you, and use that Bitcoin to buy something on, say, Overstock.com or Newegg.com, and then somehow send it to somebody's house and then swoop by and pick it up before they know. There's ways to, you know, make purchases anonymously too. But that's all risky business. Better to just get it out of the way, free and clear. If you buy on Paxful and you sell for dollars down the road anonymously, yes. If you sell on Coinbase, you have to report taxes, yeah. So anyone that saw any of my videos have any questions about anything? Telegram, Tron, Coinbase, GDAX, computer rigs, lights. I don't have the camera set up to show you my rig today. What is it? Yeah, it's not, I can't really do it. Sorry, can you still see me? I gotta take this call real quick. Hello? Hey, Kelly. I'm good, thank you.
I was just calling because I was wondering what is kind of the next step with the whole moving out situation. Like
Yeah, the only thing you need to sign is a letter releasing the deposit to Mackenzie, because legally the owners can't give the deposit back to her. They have to split it up. I mean, like, you know, legally you made the deposit since you signed the lease. So I'm just going to give you a letter that you'll sign, and then she can pay you your half of the deposit, or you know, you work it out with a little bit of money taken out for whatever wear and tear you guys agree that you put on the apartment. That way, yeah. But that's really it. I mean, that's all that you really have to do. If she finds another roommate, then she'll just add their name to the lease, and yeah, the owners will take care of the rest. So yeah, I will get that letter to you as soon as possible. Are you still at the apartment, or are you? Oh, okay. I thought you were already on the East Coast. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll get it to you within the day. Yeah, later tonight or tomorrow. I have the letter. Yeah, I have the letter already printed up. All you got to do is sign it. It just says, I, Kelly, you know, released my deposit to Mackenzie. Pretty straightforward. Yeah.
And then would you evaluate that and give her the deposit back if she were to ever move out?
That's right. She'll get the deposit at the end of the lease, and she'll work whatever out with her new roommate too.
Right.
Yeah. So.
My other question was, do I owe you anything on June 1st then? I can't remember how the lease will work. Like if I just leave for May, beginning of May, or...
No, you gave your 30-day in May, so since you're leaving and you won't be here in June, you don't have to pay your June rent. Yeah.
Okay.
Unless you want to stay longer. Then you can prorate it. But if you're leaving at the end of this month, then you don't owe any rent. Because rent is always paid in advance. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, you're paid up.
Like for like first or second or whatever.
Oh, well, I'm going to come over there, and if you're still there, I'm just going to hit you up for whatever you owe. I'm just joking. I'm sorry. I should. No, don't worry about that. You can stay an extra week. I'm not gonna, you know, I don't really care. But yeah, I mean, between you and Mackenzie, you told us you were leaving at the end of May, so, and you've paid your rent, so you're fine. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, I will, of course, and I'll be talking to you soon. All right. Thanks. Bye-bye. Sorry about that, guys. I do several different jobs. One of my jobs is I'm the manager of the small apartment building where I live, and I have to deal with the tenants. 18 units. Do you have a safe way to check links before clicking them to see if they are safe? Mine is my ESET. So if you're running ESET, or Windows Defender will help you, a lot of them. But ESET, if you try to, if you click a link that has that's on one of those blacklists, I guess, if it's one of those blacklisted websites, and you try to click the link, ESET will warn you. They will tell you, don't do that. And Malwarebytes does that too. So your software will do that for you. There is, like, if you're worried about a link, you probably shouldn't be clicking it. That's kind of how I'll put it. But I believe if you hover over the link here and look down at the bottom, down here at the bottom where my cursor is now, like when I hover over a link, you'll see the link there. It says YouTube/edit blah blah blah. That's a link to one of my YouTube videos. But if you click, if it says like Telegram tokens, and you hover over the link and look down at the bottom of your browser and see that it's some weirdo like Russians, Chinese, or just like a name of a website that doesn't like look legit, that's one way of like kind of previewing the link before you actually click it. That's one way to do it. You can do the same thing in emails too. If someone sends you an email, like in Gmail, and you're not really sure about that person, let's try to find one. This one you can see the email address, but others you can't, right? But see, when I hover over the name, it'll show me the email. So if it says like Bank of America support, and then you hover over it, and it's like wisleyinternet.ru or something, then you know it's not Bank of America. So that's, you can hover over email addresses in your email, and then you can hover over links. Yeah, like that one, that's the same. The link down there is the same as the one I'm hovering over. But other types of links, like this one, you know, you can look down at the bottom and see what you're going to click through to. Yeah, I'm not really sure I like the term landlord, but that's what some people call me. I think of it as just manager. I'm not the owner. The owners are, you know, they're the ones that get all the money. But they give me half rent for doing all this. I know, I shouldn't have talked to her. I should have just let it go to voicemail. But I knew she doesn't... Usually the tenants text me. So when they call, I have to beware. It could be that, you know, the pipe in the bathroom burst or something. So I usually will take the call. Yeah, I like that, Maximus. It's funny you mentioned that because if you go to that video, there were some very interesting comments on how to destroy a hard drive. Things that I had never thought of. Let me see if I can see a couple here. There we go. A strong magnet will permanently destroy it. Leave it in a bucket of bleach for a few hours. And then Ramses said just microwave it and it should make all sectors unreadable. So yeah, there's the sledgehammer, the microwave, the, you know, the bucket of bleach. You got all kinds of ways to destroy your hard drive. I had just heard about the drill. I saw that on Robot Man, if you've ever watched that show. He said it said it's time to like reset, and he like broke down all his computers and snapped his SSD drives in half, and then he drilled through all his hard drives, and I just thought that was kind of cool. So yeah, I mean, it's a thing. There are people that drill their hard drives. Thermite. Yeah. Isn't that how they brought down the towers? Yeah. Rex, do you have a favorite altcoin? How many do you think is a good number to hold to be manageable and to be nimble enough to handling them? Well, you know, it depends. If you kind of, like if you spend $100 and you get like 7,000 tokens, they're manageable, but then when they go up in price, then you might have some issues withdrawing them from your exchange. Let's say it's worth 200K. You can't just pull all of that off in exchange. You can't even transfer it to your wallet in one fell swoop. So you never know what's going to be manageable down the road when the price goes up. But like I said, favorite coins, I'm not a financial advisor. But if you look at and I mentioned the top 20 are a good place to start. I'll just tell you, I'm not a big fan of Ripple or IOTA. Ripple is not decentralized, and IOTA, I think their implementation is a little whacked out. But I like Cardano. It claims to be a third-generation coin. Bitcoin being first generation, Ethereum being second generation, and Cardano being third generation. It's trying to build a network very similar to Ethereum, with improvements. So I like Cardano. I like Stellar too. I don't know a whole lot about it, but it is a method of exchange for normal people. If you go to the Stellar website. And they also, I don't know where that was. Part of what they do is try to help people in parts of the world where people don't have access to banking, which I kind of like that. I don't see it. It used to be on their homepage. I don't know where it is. So they're kind of a people's coin. So I like Cardano and I like Stellar. As investments, I don't know. I just think they're interesting ideas, and I think they've got some longevity out there. Hopefully. Let's see what else is there. I like Tron too. I think I did some videos about Tron. The main reason I like Tron is because it's cheap and I can get a bunch of it with not too much money. But the guy that runs Tron seems pretty motivated, and it's a Chinese company, and you know, that's a big market. And I think that it will appeal to Chinese users, and there's a lot of Chinese users in China. You know, they're very savvy about cryptocurrency, as opposed to the U.S., where we're kind of a minority. So I think Tron, being a Chinese company, has got some promise. And then I like Monero just for the idea of being a privacy-based cryptocurrency. And if you look at Monero, the chart for Monero is, let's see, all time. Monero is a pretty stable cryptocurrency. It's gone up and down, but it's pretty much, you know, it doesn't have huge leaps in price up and down. Neo, I believe, I don't know a lot about Neo. Where is Neo? Oh, here. The only reason I didn't jump into Neo was because it was a bit expensive, and I don't have like 10 grand to throw around. I usually have maybe 50 or 100. So, you know, if I got $100, I can only buy 2 Neo. Now I did buy, you know, last year I was buying Ethereum, and I would just buy as much as I could get for what I had. So, you know, I buy $50 worth of Ethereum here, another 100, you know, and the month after, and then another down the road whenever I got extra money. And it paid off eventually, because when I first started buying Ethereum, it was around 300. And so, yeah, I mean, you don't have to buy one. And I probably could have bought some Neo then, too. But keep in mind, if you only have 2 of the tokens, let's say you know, if I have a choice between 5,000 Tron or 2 Neo, if the price of Neo goes up, it would have to double in price for me to, you know, really make a lot of money. Whereas, you know, if I have 5,000 Tron and it goes up to $1, then, you know, I make a real good return on that. But as far as Neo being a good coin and a good company, you know, it's up there in the top 20. So I'm not going to bash it. Well, you know, as far as Ripple goes, the CEO of Ripple seems like a real smart guy, And it seems like they're trying to make a name for themselves in the money transfer business and try to get in on that market where Swift has been, in charge of international transfers for many years. The Swift banking system. Ripple's trying to get in on that market using blockchain technology. For that idea, I think they have a future. They're just not a decentralized blockchain cryptocurrency like some of the others. So, yeah, it's hard to say if any of these things are going to go up or down in the near term. Um, it's very gut wrenching when you watch the price go up and you're holding and then it goes down. So it's pretty gut wrenching. So just kind of hold on for dear life. But, Bitcoin went up and down too for many years. I think it hit $1,000 in 2013, and then it went down to like 100, 200, and languished there for quite a while before it finally came back up in 2017. So you never know. Now, I mentioned ICOs last time too. The thing about ICO is if you're in the US, you're blocked from participating in most ICOs. They can even detect from your IP address that you're in the US. So you can't really participate in ICOs. So if you're interested in a company that is having an ICO and you can't participate, you might just wait till the ICO ends and then buy some of their tokens on some of these early exchanges because the price is going to start off pretty low. I think someone mentioned last week that usually after the ICO ends, people that have the tokens from the ICO will tend to cash out, and that makes the price kind of tank. So that would be my strategy. So if being in the US, just wait for the ICO to end and then try to scoop up some of the tokens while they're still relatively inexpensive. And then, down the road, when the tokens get accepted on the bigger exchanges and the price goes up, then you might have something. No, it is definitely not for the faint of heart. I'll tell you that. Yes, there are a lot of coins, and there's a lot of them popping up. Yes. So do your research and decide if you think it's a good idea. Look at its use case. Like for example, Bitcoin has a pretty good use case. There were places that accept Bitcoin for several years, so you could use it to buy things on the internet. And then Litecoin has a use case in that it's very fast. And I use Litecoin in several of my videos to make quick transfers from Coinbase to GDAX to GDAX to Binance because I know it was fast. I tried to transfer Ethereum from GDAX to Bittrex, and I had to wait till the next morning for the transfer to complete. Whereas Litecoin, you can make that transfer in 10 minutes, 20 minutes. So that's a use case. So and then I've used Ethereum as gas to buy and sell tokens. So Ethereum has a utility, a use case. So anytime you see a new coin, look at it as what can it be used for? What is it good for? And do I think it's a good idea? And but you also should look at their implementation too. Like for example, IOTA. IOTA has a great idea, and a lot of people were piling into IOTA, but on closer inspection, their implementation is a little flawed. There were some flaws exposed in their coding and their overall approach. So you want to look into these coins with a microscope. Do your research before you spend any of your hard-earned money. If you research Cardano, you'll see that it's a company that is based on the scientific method. There's a lot of really smart guys that do Cardano. Okay, guys, I'm going to keep these live streams to an hour from now on to keep the peace in my family on a Friday night. Christabel,
Yes.
did you want to say hello to anyone? No. Christabel doesn't want to be in the live stream this week, my daughter. She did say hi at the beginning. So I would like to thank everyone that joined tonight. I really appreciate you guys showing up, and I really appreciate the good comments of encouragement that you gave me, and I hope I was able to get to your questions. After I'm done here, like later, I'll go through the video and look to see if maybe I missed anybody's questions, and then I'll try to respond to you in the comments. If I can find you in the comments. So if I didn't get to you, or you've got anything that is on your mind, leave me a comment in this live stream. It'll be up for another week or so. And then I'll try to get back to you with something solid. So once again, thanks for joining. And I hope everybody has a really good night.